Ben. New this morning, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office has just identified the victim in yesterday's deadly boat crash in St. Petersburg. Investigators say 56-year-old Pal Pataki was the only person on that boat, and the Sheriff's Office says he did not own the boat but was taking it on a sea trial before crashing into Steins Island. Pataki, again, was the only person on board, and right now investigators do not believe he was impaired.
News right now out of Brandon. Right now, emergency crews on scene of a house fire. This is near the intersection of Clemons Road and North Parsons Avenue in Brandon. A live look at the scene right now. It does appear like the fire may be out at this point. No word on any potential injuries. We'll keep you updated on this as we get some more information this morning.
So Michelle Brannon is facing charges not only for human trafficking, but also for money laundering and forced labor. She is expected in the federal courthouse here in downtown Tampa at 2:30 this afternoon.
Video from a neighbor shows FBI agents and the SWAT team at a home in Tampa's Avila community.
We were quite surprised what was going on this morning.
Sheila Malden doesn't know what to make of the scene that unfolded in her gated community Wednesday morning.
Animal control is in there. There's, I've never seen so many police cars in my life coming in on a house, and tanks and FBI and everything's in there.
The FBI raided the multi-million-dollar house and arrested Michelle Brannon. Leaders with the U.S. Department of Justice say she and David Taylor were leaders of a group they called the Kingdom of God Global Church. According to this 23-page indictment filed in July, the pair used a forced labor operation to collect $50 million in donations since 2014 to fund their lifestyle, including the Tampa house.
These are some of the things that are very specifically talked about that we see in some of these fringe, highly controlling sort of cult-like groups.
Licensed mental health counselor Thomas Hanna says religion is a common avenue used to assert control. In this case, court records say victims were required to make a specific number of calls or raise a specific dollar amount. And if they didn't meet the quota, there were consequences, physical violence and psychological abuse.
That is done because that builds trust. People that align with that religious belief now recognize these people as part of that in-group, and trust is a lot easier to build.
As the multi-state investigation continues, Malden and other neighbors in Tampa are left wondering how the case against Brannon and Taylor could play out.
So Brannon, again, expected here at the federal courthouse in downtown Tampa around 2:30 this afternoon. Eventually, she and Taylor will be extradited back to Michigan, where this case was originally filed.
Church leaders here at home are responding to this morning's tragedy in Minneapolis. News Channel 8's Victoria Lucas joins us live from the Diocese of St. Petersburg with that part of the story.
Jen, good evening to you. Catholic school and church leaders say security is something they constantly address, and their goal is to be proactive when protecting their students.
Every time an incident like this happens, or every time something changes, we have to adapt.
Superintendent of the Catholic Diocese of St. Petersburg, Chris Pastora, says the diocese is adapting through pain as tragedy has struck once again. Minneapolis police say a shooter opened fire through the windows of the Annunciation Catholic Church Wednesday morning, killing 2 children and injuring 17 others before taking their own life.
Evil is a reality, and I think people of faith have to be thoughtful, we have to be prayerful, and we have to be wise.
Pastora shared this letter sent to families reminding them of security measures currently in place, such as identification screenings, specialized training for principals and school security officers, and more.
We do have armed security at our schools, and we practice, we talk about these things all the time, and we plan for worst-case scenarios.
St. Petersburg Catholic High School chaplain Father Ralph Delia says though fear may be prevalent at the moment, folks are to remember who is the ultimate victor.
I think now more than ever, it's important for people to gather together, to support one another, and to show that goodness is much greater than the power of evil. And we can be a witness to that. I think especially coming to Mass on Sundays is a concrete sign that we won't allow evil to overcome us.
Flags at all federal buildings will fly at half-staff from now to Sunday to honor the Minnesota shooting victims. And we have a statement from the Catholic Diocese of St. Petersburg and more reaction on this tragedy on our website, WFLA.com. Live in St. Petersburg, Victoria Lucas, 8 on your side.
On your side, investigation into sky-high water bills in St. Petersburg is getting results. City leaders are now taking action, and the state is also stepping in, getting involved. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur joining us live in St. Petersburg with the story. Georgia.
Well, I'll tell you, Keith, residents are flush with frustration while a city council member is moving a step forward. We still can't get a clear reason from the city's administration as to why these bills are so high in the first place. Rachel Conkey moved out of her home in Shore Acres after flood damage last year, but she says the bills keep coming.
I have another billing and collections from the city of St. Pete. And I'm sure they're just asking for more money.
Not only is she not living in the home, this is the bill she received.
I got a water bill for over $1,000.
City records show thousands of accounts just like hers. They have made nearly 7,000 adjustments to water bills since last fall, including overreads on meters, estimated bills, and delayed charges. After our reporting, City Council member Corey Givens put a new item on next week's agenda, asking for an update on plans to replace water meters and improve leak detection.
So I hired a leak detection. No leaks were found.
Noreen McClure's bill came in April of 2024, before last year's hurricanes.
It also had occurred in August. So now the bill was up to past $10,000.
And now the state is also demanding answers. Earlier this month, Florida Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, sent this letter to St. Petersburg. It orders the city to turn over all rate studies since 2019 and explain how money is transferred out of the water fund. Back in March, St. Pete Mayor Ken Welch gave this reason as to why bills were so high.
The combination of the flooding, the legacy system we have for estimating, the metering issue is another one. So I think there are a lot of culprits, and I think it was, the perfect storm.
But for residents like McClure, whose bills date back before the storms, that explanation doesn't hold water.
I tried to meet with the mayor.
And so has 8 on your side. Mayor Welch, his communications team, and his chief of staff have repeatedly ignored our request for comment. Now, while the state audit is underway, the city council is supposed to take up Corey Givens' a new agenda item next week. Now, we're still going to be pushing for answers as to why residents receive a sky-high bill in the first place. Reporting live in St. Pete, I'm Georgia MacArthur. 8 on.
Well, a daytime drop-in center that helps serve vulnerable neighborhoods in Tampa has been closed. Several partners, though, are working together to reopen what's called the shop and to get essential services back to those who need them. News Channel 8's Alessandra Young breaks down how you can help.
Think of this building here off of North Nebraska Avenue as a one-stop shop for people who are either experiencing homelessness or just down on their luck. Now, this is a place where people can come, take a shower, do their laundry, and even receive mail. Now, unfortunately, the doors were closed a few weeks ago, but different organizations are coming together to try to reopen the shop.
The shop was most recently operated by Grace Point, but now the organization called Well Built Cities is trying to get the doors back open.
Right now we're counting on like private dollars because we got to do this pretty quick because the landlord's like, hey, I can't hold this property forever.
They're currently trying to raise $180,000 to get all of the basics covered for the first year. They've also partnered with Grace Family Church.
When I heard that the shop had closed and may not reopen, I was pretty concerned. So I wanted to be part of the initial committee that was coming together with other faith leaders in the city to see what we might be able to do.
The shop has been a safe haven for those who need it and give them the basic necessities like a shower and a meal. And without it, local organizations say a huge gap is missing in the community.
This is just a basic provision of mercy to go, look, we could just take care of this baseline.
It's critical that this place reopens because personally, between our homeless friends in our South Tampa location or who come through at Ybor or even Land O'Lakes, we've given them bus passes to come here and get resources that we can't provide.
After being out in the Florida sun, washing your clothes or taking a nice shower just really helps you feel better. So in order to make this vision a reality, they're having an open house here tonight night from 6:30 to 8. And I'll have all the information posted on our website at WFLA.com. In Tampa, I'm Alessandra Young, 8 on your side.